so when you were working for your dad part-time, was that when you were in college or high school? Or when was that?
It was after college.
After college. So
Yep.
you were looking for a job and you started working for your dad part-time
Yep.
while for a job. And
Exactly.
so, but you were still looking for a job and you were just,
Yeah. My plan was to be a financial advisor, right?
so when
Growing
was,
up, your friends say, oh, I want to be a professional athlete. I'm going to be a basketball player. It was always like my thing to be like, oh, I'll be your agent. I'll be your money manager. That was for some reason. I was
so
good
when
at, I
was that,
saved a
when
lot
did
of
that change?
money.
When
Yeah.
did that change? When did that change? That you said,
It,
okay, that's it. This is my path.
um, a week into working for my dad, he gave me a project that he thought would take a month. He thought it would take 2 weeks to a month. And using Excel, I saw and all the Excel functions, I finished it in 5 minutes.
Wow.
And it wasn't anything fancy, but he went from probably paper and fax machines to he's like, okay, now we're using this Excel thing. And I was just proficient in Excel. So I could use functions to do VLOOKUPs and whatever needed to be to find bad data or to match up prices. So I made him infinitely efficient, right? Because he had this work that thought it was going to take him a month. He's been putting it off or whatever. It needed to get done. Was he stopping the bleeding? He was trying to stop the bleeding. And I finished it in 5 minutes. And his eyes got wide and was just like, oh, we can do so much more now. At the very same time, this was right 2007, 2008. Amazon was just starting to buy stuff that wasn't books and DVDs. They were starting to sell the TVs and hardware. So I immediately, was talking to my dad, like, why don't we get our clients onto this cool website that everyone is buying stuff? And so that's what we did. And that's what basically he was still working with all of our hardware store, brick and mortar clients. And I was starting to get all of our brands onto Amazon. And there wasn't much else on Amazon. And we were working with buyers every day, right? The Amazon buyers, most people listening to this, if they're on Vendor Central, they don't even have buyers anymore because they just don't exist. Or they only work with brands that sell 10, 20, $50 million a year.
Right.
Back then, Amazon buyers were everywhere. They were bringing on any brand they could because there wasn't that much sales
Right.
happening. So I was just, I like that you could set up the product once, upload a couple images, and it'll just sell, without you. They're doing the shipping, they're doing the fulfillment, they're dealing with returns. It was just a beautiful thing. And we helped, a lot of these really old school companies kind of step into the future. And that was, very soon my dad wasn't looking at me like, oh, he's this part-time kid. It's like, oh, he's our digital marketing. Oh, he's our digital channel manager. Oh, he's because I was helping our brands. We're talking about go from 0 to 100 and millions of dollars of sales back in 2007. So these companies have done, big stuff.
You had a soft entry.
Yes, I had a
Almost
soft entry.
soft entry. So it wasn't like an aha moment and
Oh no.
decision. No, it was kind
There
of a
was no
natural.
gurus back then. There was no get rich quick because it was a new thing and you didn't know what you could possibly sell.
You found your, sure, of course, you're talking about the knowledge of, how to do it on Amazon. What
Yep.
I'm talking about is a lifestyle change. I mean, you kind of found your groove because a lot of people, I had guests who, in fact, she's my favorite her name is Danny May. She's a former Amazonian, used to work on Amazon at Amazon, fairly high level,
Yeah.
the level to even write an Amazon policy. So her entire family was like yours, entrepreneurs, and she fought all her life not to be an entrepreneur. And she did all kinds of things, did not want, she was rebelling against that entrepreneurial culture. And guess what? One day, suddenly something happened, and she was natural at it,
Yeah.
produced good results. And then she asked herself, why am I not doing this? And she started her business. So it's not everybody. To you, it was very natural. You were already a good fit into that mindset and desires and things like that. So it's a great story. You're very lucky, very lucky.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I also got sick of working with my dad. So after like, I think it was 4 years, I took a break. I went to a coding school. I was so into technology. I went to a coding technical school and worked as a software developer for a few years. So, the biggest company I worked for is Instacart. I was there in 2014. And it was small back then, and helped grow that company as a software developer for them. It was a really cool experience. But once you learn software development, you have this I kind of think of it as a wizard. You type stuff into the keyboard and you get whatever you want on the screen. Right. To create whatever you want on the screen is just a very powerful tool. Now you have things like Zapier, where you don't necessarily need to write the code. You could just think of, how do I plug this into this? And also, I'm pretty sure ChatGPT has a Zapier plugin or something like that. So you might not even need to know how to use Zapier in the near future. You could just say, I need help with Amazon reporting for this or any other business, right? You could start asking these questions to be efficient. So I'm just a big fan of automation, machines, tools that help you get leverage, right? It's
that's productivity, right? So that's
absolutely the video camera makes this conversation possible.